This meeting is called to order at 6 o'clock. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. We had a power failure over the weekend, so we are not being broadcast live right now, but we are live over YouTube, though. So and that's actually where we get quite a few people watching, I'm told. All right. Clerk Wright, would you please call the roll?
Sure. Trustee Kelly is excused, absent. Trustee Boyne,
Here.
Trustee Martin, the same. Trustee Frazier. Here. Treasurer Bud.
Here.
The clerk, myself is present. Supervisor,
Here?
you all look like you're there. We have a quorum.
Okay. An executive summary of what's going to happen today. We have a consent agenda, which includes our work study meeting minutes, our board meeting minutes, prepaid lists, our voucher lists, paying our everyday bills, approval of adjusting a cemetery capital outlay. We're going to spend some money for survey work so we know who's where. There will be an announcement by Community Services for the upcoming autumn cider social. We'll call her up later. New business includes discussion on a resolution for the 2026 salary schedule and the general fund budgets. It's one of the biggest things this board's tasked to do each year. There will also be the discussion of the resolution for the water and sewer budget. There'll be a resolution for the special revenue funds, and there'll be a resolution for the MERS Healthcare Savings Program and Retiree Health Funding Vehicle. Also, there will be discussion on an agreement with Wayne County for a 2025 Local Road Improvement Program grant that we've agreeing to enter into, or not. The board will decide. There'll be discussion on a resolution regarding speed limits on gravel roads. We'll be having a discussion on a sidewalk agreement with the Van Buren transfer station. And lastly, we'll have a discussion on the reapproval of a township investment policy and authorized investment vehicle. Moving on, then, we're at adoption of the agenda. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
I have Treasurer Bud, Clerk Wright. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor of adopting the agenda? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. We move on to adoption of the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Through the chair.
Trustee
I
Boynton.
move that we approve the consent agenda, which consists of the following: work study meeting minutes of October 7th, board meeting minutes of October 7th, prepaid lists of October 9th and October 16th, the voucher list of October 21st, all of 2025, and adjusting cemetery capital outlay project 2025 budget line item 101-567-971-000 from $20,000 to $40,000 for survey work.
Thank you. I've got a motion. Can I get support?
Support.
Support by Treasurer Bud. I've got a motion. I've got support. Hearing no further discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? This motion passes. We're now down to correspondence, announcements, and presentations. I'm going to begin with Sheriff Washington. I had lunch with him the other day about a few things that are interesting to us, among other things, our boat and our lake. And he told us he has new community liaison, Wayne County Sheriff Stephanie Richards, and she's come here to say hi. My favorite Wayne County Sheriff.
Hello, everyone. Just
Yeah,
wanted
if you don't speak into that, nobody hears you outside of.
All righty. Just wanted to come in and of course, Sheriff Washington sends his support as usual. Wanted to let you know if there's anything he can do to assist in any way, please let us know. We can definitely help you in any way that we can. I did bring some Wayne County resource guides that I will leave out front for your residents because we often get, what else does Wayne County Sheriff Office do besides manage the jail? So this is a great informational for the residents, has a lot of great phone numbers in case they need some community information from the Wayne County Sheriff's Office. So that's really what I want to step by and say, that we are still here, and let us know if we can help you in any way.
Does anybody have any questions for our new community liaison? No? Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming out. You don't really need to do it all the time, but thank you so much, and say hi to the sheriff for us. We're very thankful. We've got a nice boat from him, and he helps us out at a lot of other events that we need help with. But
Good. And if you have any events you need the mounted, the horses, or anything come out, reach out to me so I can get them.
that's what we were talking about the other day. Thank you. Thank you. You know, while we're talking about Wayne County, I'm going to bring up the fact that Commissioner Alan Wilson helped get Baca a $25,000 grant that was just approved the other day. I'm told Baca just Elaine Gutierrez put out an email that the grant was approved. So wonderful news. Director Gerhardt, could you come up and tell us about what you got going on?
A small announcement.
Sure.
Good evening. I just want to welcome everybody and remind everyone that on Wednesday, tomorrow, October 22nd, from 1 to 3 p.m., we'll be hosting our senior autumn cider social. It's a cozy afternoon of fun fall with trivia and fresh cider and hot donuts from Detroit Mini Donuts. And then on Saturday, November 1st, from 10 a.m. to noon, we're inviting everyone out to Van Buren Park, Sled Hill, for our annual pumpkin rollout. This is a free event where families can bring their leftover Halloween pumpkins and roll them down the hill. Costumes are welcome and laughter is guaranteed. We hope to see lots of smiling faces at both events.
Thank you. Those are fun events. Clerk Wright.
I'd just like to announce that 2 weeks from today, we have a election, school elections for bond proposal. And that's all that's on the ballot. So check out your local newspaper or whatever you need to look at to see what type it is. Only thing I know about the bond proposal is that it's continuation. 30-year continuation is not adding anything new. It's just continuation of current bond that's already on the books. Yeah, I'm going to discuss that. So 2 weeks from today, we just like the location changes. We've consolidated precincts. We've consolidated from 10 to 7 precincts. Those precincts has been consolidated to 2 locations: Van Buren Township Hall, Wayne County Community College. You should have got a card in the mail. It wasn't a thank you card. It was just something to keep on you so you know where you go vote. So if you look at that card, it'll tell you whether you vote at Wayne County Community College or Van Buren Township Hall. What else? Township Hall will be closed on next Tuesday for voting only. That's about it. Thank you.
All right. Any other board members have anything comment? Nope. We're moving on to public comment. Is there anybody from the public that wishes to discuss anything about unfinished or new business? Anybody from the public? Hearing none, we're moving on to new business, which is number 1. New business is discussion on and to consider approval of a resolution for our salary schedule and our amended 25 budget and our proposed 26 budget.
Through the chair,
Commissioner, Trustee Boynton.
I move that we approve of Resolution 2025-28, the 2026 salary schedule and resolution, 2025-29, the 2025 amended, and the 2026 proposed general fund budgets.
Can I get a second?
Support.
Clerk Wright. Okay, so normally this is done by Dan Selman, but I sent him to a convention to learn more about MERS, and he came back with strep throat. So I guess this one's on me. All right. We've obviously, okay, so attached for your review is the 25 amended and the 26 proposed general fund budget with all the included appendixes. Revenue is in excess of those noted on these sheets will be dedicated to the fund balance at the end of the year. The fiscal year line items which are not expense shall revert to net income. Approval of the appendices noted above as part of this general fund budget, which basically means if it says capital improvement and it's got a boiler in it, you're approving that boiler for next year. Revenue as tax administration fee is to continue as in past practices. The allocated millage for the operations, the township operations are 7.272, which represents 0.89 for the township operations and 6.3 for the public safety. Of course, just to remind everybody that each department you're adopting a budget by department, not line items. The approval of the resolution 25 through 29, General Fund 25 amended. The 26 proposed budget supersedes any past budget motions that were made. So this is the final vote on this. So we've had numerous meetings on this budget, and I believe this marks the fourth open meeting on this budget. So I'll just go over the big numbers once more before I call for any questions on the budget. We are seeking, the administration is seeking approval of the board for our 25 projected and amended fiscal budget consisting of $25,493,000 in expenses with $25,652,000 in revenues. We anticipate creating a $158,000 surplus this year that will fall to the general fund, which currently has a surplus of $22.5 million. In addition, this resolution sets the budget for 26 at $27.2 million, with anticipated revenues of $27.4 million, with an anticipated surplus of $131,000. This plan allows for a robust maintenance fund. We're doing a 5-year capital improvement fund. Got a new roof, so it's just good, because it used to leak in here about a year ago or two. And we've got all new air handling units that we put in. We're going to continue that fund to make sure that Van Buren Township is in tip-top shape. The budget does reflect continued growth in Van Buren Township, and it reflects Van Buren Township's fiscal strength in government and in services. I respectfully seek your approval and ask for the fourth time in open meeting for approval of this budget. Does anybody have any questions on the budget? Salary schedule. Anything? Done it 4 times. I guess you wouldn't have one anymore because we've already asked them. We've even met, and we've met one-on-one in private. I have a motion for approval by, Trustee Boynton. It's been supported by Clerk Wright. Do I hear, hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? The budget passes. Thank you very much to every director that probably spent the last 4 months listening to me and going back and forth, and thank you very much. I know it's a lot to go through, and this is kind of anticlimactic, but thank you. All right, next item of business is consider approval of a resolution for proposed water and sewer budget. Can I get a motion? Clerk Wright.
I make a motion for approval of Resolution 2025-30, amended and 2026 proposed water and sewer budget.
Support.
Actually, I got Will already on that for the support. That's okay. No, you didn't. It's hard sometimes to hear them all. Okay, Director Lawrence, could you come forward and discuss the water and sewer budget proposed and any fee increases to any of the residents? Hey.
As we spoke at the last budget meeting, at the board meeting, that the increase was 6% for water, 4% for sewer. Our overall water and sewer increase of 5%. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
When you
related.
first say that, you should add, I want to make sure that you add the last 2-year increases. How much were they?
No increases for
For
the
two,
last.
okay. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, yeah, just, yeah. All right, anybody want to make a comment on the water and sewer budget? It's a revenue budget, and, no? Okay. Again, we met in public on this, we met in private one-on-ones with the trustees and myself, then we met in public, and then we met in public, and now we're here again. So, not that we take these things lightly, just, we've done this to death, so I've got a motion, and I have support. Hearing no further discussions, all in favor? Aye. Oppose? Motion passes. Thank you. Next item is discussion on the proposed special revenue funds. Can I get a motion? Treasurer Bud?
I make a motion that we approve Resolution 2025-31, the 2025 amended, and the 2026 proposed special revenue fund budgets.
Can I get a second?
What?
Clerk Wright? So, Director Coburn, Director Renault? Does it, okay, yeah, there's so many of these funds. I called Treasurer Bud because quite frankly, she has a lot to do with them. First of all, we have the Downtown Development Authority. Director Coburn, could you come up? Can you just give us a big overview on the DDA?
Absolutely. Good evening, Board. Let me pull up my... So our revenues are staying consistent. One of the things that we've been seeing over the last several years with the growth in the district is we are bringing in roughly over $2 million. So we are projected for the 2026 to bring in about 2.5 million. One of the things we'll also see on that, our revenue is the TAP grant that we received for the Tyler Road Pathway Project, and that is 1.7 million. So as part of that, you'll see our revenue as that coming in, but on just a reminder that that is a reimbursement grant. So you will see the full amount of the project budgeted for the expense under our capital outlay, and that is 2.4 million, and then you'll also see on there the allocation for the Belleville Road match, which is 1.6 million. So that is going to be the two biggest expenses that we're going to see in our 2026 expenses. The other items are our wages, our fringe benefits, our operating office supplies, utilities, some of our assets that we take care of at Harris Park, the art sculptures that we do each year, and then we have our special events line item for the things that we do in the park as well. We also do budget for engineering as well as some of our contracted services. That'll be our landscaping at Ecorse and Belleville, the Belleville Road streetscape, and then also the landscaping maintenance at Harris Park as well. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer anything.
Projected start date for the Belleville Road?
So as I had mentioned at the last meeting, we did have some challenges with that. We are still projected for a spring start. One of the things that we are waiting for is the environmental. And one of the things that I did mention at the last meeting was my misunderstanding that with the shutdown, one of the things with the Federal Highway Administration, they are on multi-year budgets, so they are still in the office and working. So we're hoping to have that environmental approval here by the end of the month. That way we can get those funds obligated for the 2026 start date.
Thank you. Any questions?
No.
Okay. All right, thank you, Director. Belleville Area Museum is pretty much a flat line. We about $100,000 we put into that, correct? And the boiler went. So we looked. Director Lockett looked into a forced air conversion. It was what, $115,000, and we were going to destroy some of the historical sections of the building, so we're gonna put a new $22,000 boiler in? And yeah, we're gonna put a new $22,000 boiler in soon before it gets cold, so. The Local Development Finance Authority, that would be Vistion area. It's in better shape than it's ever been, but it'll start going into a negative at the end of the year, and end of next year. The Federal Forfeiture Fund is, sometimes it grows, sometimes it doesn't. It's pretty small right now, but it's got some potential. State Forfeiture Fund is pretty much non-existent. The 9/11 Service Fund comes in and goes out to pay for our 9/11. The landfill fund is tracking. 5 years ago, I had Sean Bellingham put together a 15-year plan on it, and I accidentally pulled up that 5-year-old plan, and he's about $500,000 off.
I told you it was good.
He's real good. But it's doing very well. It was quoted in the general fund surplus that I mentioned earlier. I think it's around 14.8. Long-term debt fund is solid. It's very, very solid now. And the capital improvement fund is also solid, about $3.5 million. In your consideration for the above funds, I guess that's all I've got. Okay, so we've got a motion. We've got a second. Does anybody have any questions on any of the special revenue funds? Okay, hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? They pass. Thank you. Next item is what? Yes, sir?
I move to approve of Resolution 2025-35, MERS Healthcare Savings Program and Retiree Health Funding Vehicle.
Support.
Okay, I got a motion, I got support, I've got Director Monier? Monier, okay. It's Director Monier and Monet,
Okay.
Miss Williams.
That's French.
Clerk, did you seconded it?
Yeah.
And Boynton, okay. Thank you. Okay, take it away.
Good evening, Board. In 2019, the township moved from providing a traditional retiree healthcare program to providing a healthcare savings program to reduce the future OPEB liability for the township. This change is part of our ongoing effort to provide the best possible benefits and support for our employees. The change will allow self-guided access to and management of their accounts, extended beneficiaries, and options that would navigate finding plans that suit their unique needs upon retirement. The trust in which these funds have been held since the start of the plan is no longer a viable vehicle for our township. Investments are being made by the trust and not the employee. Also, all the fiduciary responsibilities lies with the supervisor and the clerk of the township.
Before you have 5 documents. If you're following through the board packet, they are from page 104 to 118. They will include Resolution 2025-35, all of which will have a November 1st, 2025 effective date. Those items are the MERS Retiree Funding Vehicle Uniform Resolution, the OPEB Trust, establishing the authorized signators, the MERS Healthcare Savings Plans Program itself, and the MERS Healthcare Savings Plan Participation Agreement. The last document is the contribution addendum for the MERS Healthcare Savings Program. The first document within there is page between 105 and 108. This is the MERS Retiree Health Funding Vehicle. In short, it is the document that you have to make the decision to move the current trust, which is our OPEB funds, to the MERS board and authorize them as the investment fiduciary as established under the Section 115 of the IRS Code. They will be responsible for the custody and the assets and monitoring of all of our investment options at this point. Document number 2, hold on, let's go to that page. Starts on page 109. That falls under this same resolution, 2025-35, to establish the authorized signatures for the contract with MERS. I listed the supervisor, treasurer, HR director, and payroll clerk. This is only because me and the payroll clerk handle everything hands-on with MERS for all employees, including all of our day-to-day admin. The third document ranges from pages 110 to 113. This is actually the Healthcare Savings Program plan for our employees. The document outlines the setup of the plan similar to the trust, and MERS will act as the fiduciary for these investments as well, with the difference that the employees will now have access to their accounts, where currently they do not. The fourth document, pages 114 to 116, is the plan document itself. It outlines the effective dates of 11/1/2025, the covered employees, who are the employees hired after 9/1 of 2019, eligibility, which we have to send over the census, the probationary period, employer contributions and vestings, which will be biweekly with a 100% vesting period of 1 year. Forfeiture provisions, if the employee does not meet the vesting period prior to separation, or if someone passes without a designated beneficiary, the funds will revert back to the township. Modification clause can only be made by the board adoption of a resolution going forward. This also lists the fees and expenses which comes from the participation account, from the participants' accounts, which it currently handles the same way now. The final document is the contribution addendum. Monthly contributions will be $208.33, which should equate out to the $2,500 that we give currently annually. This will be for all eligible employees, and we decide if we will allow employees to place a percentage of any cash outs into the Healthcare Savings Program to avoid any high taxations. With that, I'll ask the board if you have any questions at this time. I know it's a lot.
Yeah, so we're not one of the first to do this, but this is still kind of a new stuff 5-6 years ago, getting rid of retiree health care. Although everybody that had it kept it. Any new hires came into the new system, which pretty much everybody's gone to that could, where we give them X amount of dollars and they put it into a 401k style thing. When they retire, they've got a big lump sum of money to buy their own health insurance until they reach Medicaid age or even past that. We thought that it was a simple thing to do, so we hired a good, honest broker that we're confident in. But it turned out that there was so many little nuances in this thing that there was a fee here and a fee there and a fee here and a fee there. And we were liable and things like that. So we're moving it over to somebody that actually does this. This is their forte. So that's why we're seeking your approval to do this. Okay. Any questions? Hearing none, I've got a motion for approval by Mr. Boynton, Trustee Boynton, and supported by Clerk Wright. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Good work. I know that was a lot of work, believe it or not. That was many months in the making. Okay, next item is to consider an intergovernmental agreement between Van Buren Township and Wayne County. Can I get a motion?
To the chair, I make it.
Okay. Can I get a second? Mr. Wright, Clerk Wright. All right, Director Aker.
Thank you. So Wayne County has offered townships in the county the opportunity to match up to $1.7 million in road funding to complete projects in the community. The main project that has been identified in Van Buren Township is the paving of Morton Taylor Road between Tyler Road and Ecorse Road. The scope of work will include the pavement of the road and installation of sidewalks along gaps on either side of the road as long as funding is remaining. Wayne County Public Services will be performing this work as well as completing the design and project administration. Per the agreement, if there are any remaining funds left after the project on Morton Taylor is completed, those remaining funds will be used for crack sealing and asphalt patching on Tyler Road between Haggerty and Belleville Roads. And if any further funds remain after those two projects, they will be used for ditch cleanouts on gravel roads throughout the township. The funding requires a $1.7 million match from the township. The first installment is 50% of the match and will need to be paid by the township to the county upon signing the intergovernmental agreement. It is anticipated that this will result in an $850,000 expenditure in fiscal year 2025 and up to an $850,000 expenditure in fiscal year 2026. The township is currently exploring options to cover the funding, such as bonding, which we're working with right now. This agreement has been reviewed and approved by our township attorney, and that concludes my summary. I'm happy to answer any questions.
So Wayne County came to us with an opportunity for a road grant for $1 million. We went after Morton Taylor Road, thinking, okay, we'll put up the million and they'll come put up $1 million and we'll get Morton Taylor Road done. Turns out that the estimates on Morton Taylor Road could be as high as $3.7 million. So we had to go back to the county and say, we can't do it. We're just not going to do it. The county did come back to us and said, listen, we'll give you more. You got to match more, we'll give you more. And then anything over that, we'll make sure it happens. So if it goes over 3.7, we'll make sure it happens. Morton Taylor Road's got, I don't know how many hundreds of they got Robinson River and Walden Woods, and they all take that road, and they scream, and it's the only way to get around Belleville Road, which it's just going to be closed down for a while. And so it's just a road that's become very important, heavily traveled, and it gets destroyed fast. And we've got an opportunity to fix it. I guess we should. Yeah, I feel we should. Any comments? No? Okay, I've got a motion by Trustee Frazier, supported by Clerk Wright. Hearing no further comments, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is the resolution regarding speed limits on gravel roads. Can I get a motion? Trustee, I heard you first, and you'll get the second. But Trustee Boynton, go ahead, read it.
To consider
Number
approval
6.
of, thank you, 2025-34, a resolution regarding speed limits on gravel roads in Van Buren Township.
And I got a second. Thank you, Trustee Frazier. Director Aker.
Thank you. Over the last several years, the township has received numerous complaints regarding speeding on gravel roads in the township. Although these are Wayne County-owned roads, state law allows the township some options for petitioning the county to reduce the speed limit on these roads. One of these options is to have the board adopt a resolution formally requesting the reduction of speed limits. Per staff's discussion with the township attorney, it's our understanding that we can request the reduction in speed limits on gravel roads to 40 miles an hour without having the state police conduct a formal speed study. The township is actively working with Wayne County to highlight and make changes to this issue, and will participating in making the necessary changes to signage if this request is implemented. After adoption of the resolution will be forwarded to the Wayne County Public Services Department. If they agree to implement the change, the county will prepare a traffic control order, and the township will partner with the county to implement the traffic control order. The resolution that's before you this evening was prepared by our township attorney and the police department, who are also available here today to answer questions should the board have them. So please, this concludes my summary, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
So we've been trying for 2 years to get Wayne County to lower the speed limits. And they've been fighting back, saying you can't lower the speed limits without a speed study in the state of Michigan, police coming in and doing an evaluation. And we say, well, have them come in and do the evaluation. They say, well, the evaluation has to take place within 10 days after they scrape and chloride the road. Those are the 10 days when everybody's doing 55, 60 miles an hour. Then they're going to take the median speed and say that's what it is. So these speeds are going to stay real high. So we've been going back and forth. There was a new law that was written, and yet the county people that control the roads seem to think that the old law is still in effect and not the new law. So we're kind of tired of waiting for them. So we're going to start acting like the new law is in place. And the first thing the new law says is we've got to tell the county through resolution by the board that we want the speed limits lowered to 40. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to petition the commission to literally allow it to happen. And by then, those directors are going to have to get legal opinions that show that we're right or we're wrong, which they won't. And then we'll hopefully be able to move forward. Probably be another year, but at least better than the last 3 years we've been trying to lower the speed limits. Any questions on this?
No.
Go ahead. Trustee Boynton? No? Okay. No? Okay. I've got a motion by Trustee Boynton, supported by Trustee Frazier. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Next item is discussion on to consider approval of a sidewalk agreement with Van Buren Transfer Station up there on Yost Road. Can I get a motion? Trustee Boynton.
To approve of a sidewalk agreement between the township and Van Buren Transfer Station LLC for the Yost Road Transfer Station project.
Thank you.
Support.
Treasurer Bud. Director Aker.
Thank you. So this project recently received preliminary and final site plan approval from the Township Planning Commission. Our zoning ordinance generally requires the installation of sidewalks along public rights-of-way. During the site plan review process for this development, there were discussions and recommendations regarding deferring the installation of sidewalks along the site because it is a dead-end site on Yost Road off of Sheldon. Previously, the Planning Commission had also made this recommendation as well, made the deferment due to there being no sidewalks in the area nor any plans to install sidewalks in the area. As specified, the deferment would require the applicant to enter into a contract with the board to complete this, and that's what the agreement is before the board tonight. The details of the agreement require the developer to install sidewalk along the site frontage at the time that the township further develops Yost Road or causes the sidewalks to be installed on adjacent parcels of the property. This will be required to be completed within 90 days after the construction of the sidewalk on the adjacent property or the paving of Yost Road, of course, weather permitting. The agreement that's before you was reviewed and recommended by the township attorney as well. This concludes my summary. Happy to answer questions.
Any questions? A dead-end road and a short one at that, so, okay. All right, Trustee Boynton's made a motion. Treasurer Bud has supported it. Hearing no further discussions on the sidewalk on Yost. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much.
Board.
We're going to be discussing the township's consideration approval of, the township investment policy and authorization investment institutions.
Through the chair,
Clerk Wright.
make a motion to consider approval of the reapproval of township investment policy and authorize investment institutions.
Clinton. I believe this is yours, Treasurer Bud.
Right. The Van Buren's investment policy was last approved in 2011, but we're not here tonight to change the investment policy, but the board also has to vote on the institutions that will be used to invest township money. So on the one list, you will see that currently we use Co-America, Fifth Third, CG Morgan Chase, Malta Bank Securities, and CIBC Bank as our means of investment. We now want to add the Genesis Credit Union, which services the township on Belleville Road. So that is basically what we're doing. We're just changing an investment institution. We are not changing the policy, and they have been notified that they will have to follow Public Act 20, which is a form that for safe government investment of funds. Thank you.
Any questions? This board has long tried to give business to Van Buren businesses, and this is a Van Buren business that's not only in business in Van Buren, chose to move here, has done phenomenally well, has gotten involved with all of our institutions, is always there for charity and giving a helping hand, and it's just the policy of this board to help out those that help us out and work in our community. And they follow the rules, so that's good. Any other questions? I have a motion by Clerk Wright, supported by Trustee Boynton. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. Thank you. We have no reports today. Public comments for non-agenda items is on the agenda. Can I step forward and have the microphone? You do or don't have to give your name.
My name is Dana Domer, and I live on Crowley Road, and I'm here tonight to see what is the update on the drift track that's on Robson. I was here at the last board meeting, so I just would like to have an update.
Sure.
And I know
Director
that it's going
Akers?
to take a while, but
No, that's okay. This is pretty important. And in fact, Trustee Boynton told me he's going to ask about the drift track tonight at the public comment. So you beat him to it.
I guess to keep it brief, we did have a meeting with the owners of the drift track on Thursday. It wasn't last week, it was the week before. We did have a meeting with them on Thursday last week. They were supposed to, they responded to us with a proposal on Friday to address the concerns. We were talking about it Monday, and we're going to be following up with the prosecuting attorney and responding here probably tomorrow. So I don't want to give too many
I understand.
what we're discussing in a televised meeting, because I don't want to interfere with the active case. I mean, I can certainly speak with you after the meeting if you'd prefer, but we are actively hopefully working towards either moving forward or a resolution. So
Yeah. We've seen the tapes, we've heard the noise. It's not acceptable. All right. Next item, or no, I'm sorry, Reggie. Mr. Ryan.
Yeah, just a couple things. I was at Van Buren Park a week or so ago, and the flagpole's in sad shape there. There's no rope on it. And the last time I was there, it was like halfway down and all tangled up. I did mention something to one of the park employees could fix that.
Thank you, we will.
I'm not sure what that monument says. It says something on there, but that pampas grass is all around it. But it needs a little attention.
Monument, got it.
Then the other thing, I'm just here to speak out about the school bond. One of the key words is estimated. I'm not in favor of it. They still have an existing bond. There's a lot of bad things going on there. They're recruiting kids to play football. Pete denies that. It's a lie. There's just a lot of, I talked to a parent that got taken to court because her daughter was missing a lot of school. Come to find out, it was because she was getting harassed, picked on. Nothing was done about it. There's a lot of problems in the special ed department, same kind of stuff. And it's really bad stuff. The money ain't gonna fix it. They don't need all these repairs on a building. Buildings are in best shape they've ever been in. They're not gonna do any security upgrades other than cameras. They don't wanna have clear backpacks. We're not doing enough sweeps. They don't want wands or metal detectors. They can't sing a song that has Christmas in it. I mean, where does it stop? So that's a big fat no for me. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. I'm not going to comment on anything you just said. I am going to comment on a side note on truancy. Van Buren fought a war in Wayne County against the entire circuit court 16 years ago and won the right to have truancy tried in our own courts instead of downtown. The reason we do that is because the system allowed somebody with truancy is usually there's a reason for it. Bullying's one of them. Main reasons, though, usually are drugs or alcohol. So then when you're found truant, the old system, you would wait 6 months, go downtown, you'd sign a paper, you wouldn't have to do it. Your mom would have to take the day off and spend the whole day down there with you. And then you come back and miss some more days, get another truancy ticket, 6 more months, come downtown, see a judge, and that's when they test you for drugs, alcohol, mental problems, and things like that. So you could be on drugs or alcohol or have mental problems for a year and a half before anybody even knew. Now, within 2 weeks, you're in a local court thanks to that war, which, by the way, took down a chief judge in Mary Beth Kelly, who later became a Supreme Court judge. But so now, within 2 weeks, you're in a local court here. Okay, we can assign a drug counselor, we can assign a probation officer, we can do all the testing. We're going after truants. We're going after them hard. We're re-upping that policy. And we have the SRO officer now, and truancy is not going to be tolerated any longer in Van Buren Township.
Well, most of
Okay.
I've met with a handful of parents that had truancy problems because of bullying and because administration has done nothing about it. So if administration don't back the laws, they ain't worth the paper they're written on.
Okay, yeah,
And that's not happening.
and I won't comment on that, but I will comment on the fact that that is a directive from our board, and it's a directive that we're going after them. I mean, now that we're on this, we've got this SRO officer, we're going to do what we can to make sure that this happens, so. I'm sorry. Is there anybody else who wishes to make comment? No? Okay. Any board member that wants to make comments? No?
I did. No. She took care of it.
Track?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
To adjourn.
Thank you. Motion for adjourn. Second, Boynton. Hearing no further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We're adjourned.